Hi everybody, hope that you're getting a nice day at Vue.js Forge and that you've enjoyed the talk on Pinia. So today, as we show, as Eduardo told, we're gonna focus on the Kanban. So I'm gonna just pull the code from Eduardo. Yep. Oh yeah, I gonna also install, if in any case install anything. All right. So today we're gonna start with this. So basically, yeah, I just want to get some attention on some issues that we had, because here, for example, we are using ESLint, and as you can see, we have some error from the start. So yeah, let's fix all of those because that way we get more visibility on what is not working overall, and yeah, we can go further. So as we can see here, we have an error because we have a page that is named index. And basically we have ESLint complaining, saying that, oh yeah, sorry, but you need to have a name that is only like composed of two words. So for example, if we rename that into app-index, as we can see, yeah, ESLint is not complaining anymore. So this is just a minor thing, but yeah, since a lot of people are asking, I just want to show you how to fix that. So for that, we can go to the ESLint file, where basically we have a lot of configuration to explain you. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, yeah, okay. So it's going on amazing, Kisu, but I just wanted to ask, yeah, zoom in a bit on the
Yeah,
code and
sorry.
on the screen. Thank you so much. Yeah, please
So
continue.
yeah, yeah, I just realized that. Sorry for that. And so yeah, basically, if you want to get rid of the actual error that we have, you can first off go to the link itself and to check an explanation on what is happening there by clicking on the link that you have on the problems tab. And then, yeah, just getting into ESLint, and we can put a few lines of code there to just say, all right, I don't want you to bother me with any kind of component names. Please, can you remove it? And when it's done, you don't have any issues. So yeah, it's working pretty well. Also, I just want to mention that I'm not that good regarding TypeScript, so I'm not like those kind of beasts. So if, like me, you don't work with TypeScript, you can go to tsconfig, and then you can just put a line into the compiler option saying, oh, all right, I want some JS. Please don't bother me with TypeScript, because a lot of people who are new into Vue also don't use TypeScript. So yeah, that's all. So this is, yeah, that's all on the tips. So now let's continue on the project itself. So we're gonna start by creating a page.
Hey, could you maybe, is it possible to volume up your mic a bit? Because I think people, if you can volume up, otherwise it's fine. Just check once.
Yeah, is this better? Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
yeah, sure. Thank you. And also maybe zoom in a bit more because people still need a bit more of zoom into the code. So,
All right, let's try
okay,
to
a bit
see.
more. Maybe one more time and that should be fine.
Yeah, maybe here, but after it will be quite complex, I think.
Okay, but that's fine then. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Continue.
So yeah, so let's run the project. So here I'm going to use NI. So NI is a package from Anthony Fu. I probably know it, but it's pretty nice because you can install several packages, and you can also launch the server. So for example, here, if I tap nr, I have the whole prompt, which gives me, all right, so for example, you can run dev, you can run build preview, and all of this you can just click and then you have your dev server. As a side note, there will maybe be an issue on Linux. So if one day you have an issue with this project that we are building today, saying, all right, so esbuild Linux 64, whatever, just install esbuild as a dev dependency, and then it should be okay. So yep. let's check if our page is working, if our project is great. Yeah, so we have some boards, so yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, oh, and we also have a simple page, so let's go there. So we will not need any kind of drop down here, so I'm just gonna write a simple, simple page. So this is working here. All right. Do we have that? Yep, all good. So now that we have created this page, we can install Vue Draggable. So Vue Draggable is a pretty nice package that helps you of not knowing the actual Vue.js vanilla drag API, which may be a bit complex, but just using a simple package. And for this one, if you go to GitHub, you'll get some examples on how it's working. Just pay attention and use the Vue 3 version. So for that, basically what you're gonna need to do is to add the suffix of next. So if we install it, so we put ni for npm install, and then we put Vue Draggable. We double check that it's installed properly. So Draggable, yep, we have the version for Vue 3. Otherwise, you could get some errors because only the V4 is compatible with Vue 3. Then, since this one is installed, we can proceed into the second point, right? Perfect. Which is basically hard coding an example on the interface itself. And before that, I just want to show you that you may use the Vue DevTools if you have any issues at all. For example, if you're not sure where you are or how it's working, I recommend going to the Vue DevTools every time as much as you can. And so, for example, here, if we go to routes, we can inspect where we are. So, for example, here we are at boards/1, which is matching here with the exact, and we get all the routes there. So this is super practical because yeah, that way you can debug and see if your routes are working. For example, if we go to the index page, no, sorry, the boards page. Oh, of course, I need to restart my server. Otherwise, it will not work. Yep. So as we can see, now we move towards, and this is the exact and active path. So this is working great. And here we go back to the details one. Now we can proceed into making the actual ID page. Yeah, so let's start with the board. So this is a bit tall. So yeah, sorry. So this is a live code, so kind of stressful. Sorry for that. So let's go to the ID. There we will get some basic content of creating the actual board and making some basic visuals. So let's start with our template. We're gonna just add a div and an app page heading. So this is a component that we got before, and we're gonna put we're gonna basically import the whole board stats. So for that, we're gonna take the props. So we bring up the props of saying, all right, we want an ID, and this will be a string saying that if we're on board 1, we need to know which one is passed. So if you go to a specific card or a specific board, you just want the details of this one. Then we're gonna destructure it into a board ID. And for that, we're gonna use some props. And then, yep, let's create some fake data. So since we are really corpo here, we're gonna create some really serious board, board wording. So for example, for the title, let's go of, let's have an amazing time at Vue.js Forge. And since we got some nice stuff regarding Pinia, let's put a pineapple. And then let's add some basic tasks. So for example, I don't know. Yeah, the title of code like amazing coders. And one about, yeah, pushing some clean code. All right, so yep, so this one is to fix. Okay, so as we can see here, I have really nazi extension, which is basically yelling at me all the time, saying, all right, we do have an issue here, and this is this amazing extension of error lens, which is perfect because when coupled with ESLint prettier, you get the formatting, you get the analysis of your code base, and you don't need to go like to the problems tab and see what is happening there, etc. So here it's basic issue of us needing to import the ref and toRef from Vue, and I'm missing an S here. So yeah, now it's great. Now that this is done, let's just try to display the board title. So yep, here we have the board title, and here, as we can see, we have it. So as always, double checking it in the components. So if we navigate to the drawer, to the content itself, we go to the view, we can see that we have an ID of 1 and that this is matching the title that we just passed here. And yep, so it's great, it's working. So as a quick debug way, we can also use a pre tag. So a pre tag is basically allowing you to get the whole object. But since this one is annoying because as you can see, it goes far and beyond to the space and the galaxy, we're just gonna add some style. So I'm gonna scope it. That way I don't annoy my colleagues. And then we have nice details. Yeah, content payload inspection quickly. And yep, that's all. Now, so we created some basic mocking static data. Now let's create a board drag and drop component, which will make the actual thing. Yep, so I didn't forget anything as far as I can see. Yep. So for that, let's go to components. So, and create it there. So drag and drop, drag board. Drag and drop view. Yep. Let's start simple by just checking the props that we are getting from the parent. So same here, we are gonna just import the board. So this is an object, and then the tasks. So this will be an array. So you don't need to import define props. This is already baked in, so this is nice. And then we're gonna just create some actual variables of the tasks themselves. So we make it reactive. We use clone deep, and then we get the props and the tasks. So here we will get two issues. First off, reactive is not imported, so let's do that. That way it's done. And now we use clone deep. So for people who doesn't know, clone deep is pretty nice. It's basically helping you to not get any kind of shallow copy issue, because if you get as shown here, so I'm gonna increase it a bit. Yep. Usually in JS, if you use something, you will get something that is not really cloned deeply. So that's why we use clone deep from Lodash. So this will basically say, all right, if you have 10 levels of your object, we will take all of it. So for that, so Lodash, yeah, it's not a dev dependency. So we're gonna install Lodash ES. So ES is the version that is optimized for ES modules. So that way we got some nice tree checking and this is working great. Don't forget to restore the server, of course. So yeah, now we can just import Vue clone deep and we get the whole thing simply tree shakeable. So we just import this thing, which is 4 kilobytes gzipped, and this is nice. Of course, some people may say that we have also structured clone, which is now new on MDN and which is basically doing the same stuff. But this is new and not everybody can use it. I mean, it depends, but just know that it exists and that, yeah, it's doing the same thing actually. Yeah, now we can continue. So let's make the same for the boards. So we're gonna put that as reactive, clone deep, props, board, all right, and then columns, reactive, and here we're gonna parse that, board order, and yep, I don't have an S here. So as you can see, this is really amazing because you can see like in matter of seconds where is the issue and fix it. On top of in our ESLint config, if we have some ugly formatting, we can just save and get it like done for us automatically. So I cannot live with that because it helps me God and I go faster. So yeah, all good. Only benefits, let's say. So here, let's create some basic styling and let's maybe import the draggable component. I mean, right, the draggable component. Please remember to import it, otherwise you're gonna look dumb on your live code. And so yeah, Draggable is expecting a template with a scope style, a scope prop, sorry, of item where we can just pass element and then we can rename it to colon. And the Draggable itself takes all of our columns. So what we may use, I mean, what we will be moving. So we name it columns and we just give it a simple ID key. So this is yeah, this is not that visual, but yeah, it will get in a few seconds, don't worry. So here, let's put some h2 and then we're gonna use column title here. Yep, and that's all. So we don't have tasks. Yep, because we don't have tasks yet. And so, oh yeah, don't forget to actually import it into your Vue, of course. Maybe helpful at some point. So we're gonna bring in the board drag and drop component. So I'm a lazy boy, so I just close the component like that. So we have to pass boards and tasks. So as we said, board is basically our wall column and task is what we do. So for that, we have it just above. So let's pass board and then tasks. Yep. And then we still don't have anything. So do we have an issue somewhere? Oh, damn. Indeed. So, huh. So we have ref. Oh yeah, no, sorry. So tasks is on the right, of course. Yep, this is why it was complaining. And it still complains. All right. Oh yeah. All right, here it's an array also, because otherwise it wouldn't be like the wall board. Wait. Other. Oh wait. Sorry. So what do we have as an issue here? Board drag and drop. So we have board from here. We have tasks from here. What may be the issue? Board tasks. Huh. All right. So when you're having some issues, just don't panic like me. Just stay chill. So what may be the issue here? Board order, expected JSON. Huh. Oh yeah. Board, drag and drop. For some reason, I didn't really imported it into my project. So yeah, usually, yeah, the extension Volar just imports it properly, but here it maybe didn't. Drag and drop board. Tasks board. Oh man. All right. No, sorry. It's hub heading, which is not working for some reason. So this components, pages, boards, ID. So we have our ID and we have components. So we have app page heading, and no, we don't have app page heading. All right, so we don't have app. No, wait, we did before. Board drag and drop. Oh man. Board drag and drop. What will be the issue? It says that we don't have proper JSON. So our board is a ref. We have value, title. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Hopefully I get a fallback of just checking. All right. Yeah, so I forgot. But this, so basically the order is also saying that when you have a colon, this is linked to tasks. So here we have the first ID and the second ID. And this is saying that this is part of this column. So yeah, my bad on that one. Yeah, a bit stressed, I guess. So yeah, now, yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, we have some column of the backlog. So this is ugly right now, but yeah, we will fix that in a second. So let's go to the board there. Do we have some styling there? Not yet, I think. We'll do that in the next step. Yep. So the actual Kanban, and then we have Vuedraggable. Okay. So now that we have this current title, so if we double check the actual state, we have the title of the board and the backlog of it. So yeah, as we can see here. So let's proceed into making the some more interesting component inside of it. So I'm gonna just drop a piece of class of CSS because yeah, everybody knows how to write Tailwind here at some point. So yep, let's go with that. And then we're gonna continue with the actual draggable of the tasks. So for that, we have our draggable component. We're gonna use cannot type the tasks ID. So tasks ID, and then we have our group of tasks. So this basically is saying for the wording, what do we have? Because here we have the column, but we want to say, all right, so we want to write some nice code and then to push it. So for that, we're gonna create a task card. So let's go task card.view. Then we will not do anything like crazy, just saying, all right, we receive a task of writing good code, and we input that out as a simple wording. And then we're gonna put that into the Draggable itself. So we're gonna do the same here of passing a scope slot. So let's use item. So we're gonna receive an element and then a task ID. Yeah, those parts are not the most exciting because this is just like using the actual package. So sorry if it's a bit boring. And then we have the actual task itself. So it will have, basically we will check like when we will display the card, if it's the card that we are looking for. So we're gonna find if it's the good one. So just making a quick comparison. All right, if, and then we are gonna passing the actual state to it. And then a bit of styling, a small cursor. All right. Yep. So we oh yeah, we are missing an item key. Item key. We have the ID. Yeah. Required prop item key. Yeah. Let's inspect the whole thing. Drag and drop, draggable. So there we have another draggable with the list task ID. We don't have a task card for some reason. Item key, drag and drop. Yeah. Because here we pass the element, we have task ID, so checking that we have our task card, and then we find it, we use it, and for some reason it's missing draggable item key. Item key. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Just forgot. But as here we have an item key, so we need to know which one is used. So we need to do the same for here. So we will get yeah, just basically this one, and saying that this may be okay. Trackable component, list con tasks ID. Yeah, so it's missing an item key. Yeah, nice catch. UID, tasks ID, colon tasks ID, group tasks, item key UID, and then now it's complaining native component because yeah, as before, we for some reason we don't have the app page heading. All right, so I don't know why it wasn't importing. Oh man. Yeah, I'm used to work with Nuxt, so I don't have those issues usually. App page, but we don't have an app page heading. So yeah, let's cheat. Let's just remove that. Like we didn't saw anything and that it's working right. So do we have another issue? Nope, we don't have any issues. So we have our tasks Yeah. Sorry for that one. Template, task ID. I don't know, like we have the task card. It receives so we have the board, we have the router view. Not the navigation, content, ID, board drag and drop. We receive the tasks, we pass it to the board, or drag and drop. We have the backlog. Board card, board. Yeah. Sorry. Damn, what is not happening? Why don't we have those damn cards? Because we have the title, we have the thing, but this is not displayed actually. Why isn't it displaying? So we may pick it. So we have draggable, we have another draggable inside of it. So we have our template. By the way, let's put some tags. That way I know where we are. That I'm at the first one and then at the second one. Colon, trackable. Yeah. Item key ID. Let's add some styling. Not gonna fix our issue, of course. We have the colon title, dragon task ID, colon task IDs, group tasks, item key, UID. Still not working. This is not a visual issue. Task card. So here we have our task, so we receive it. But we don't have our task card here for some reason. All right, so since we don't have our task card here, we are gonna just import it. I mean, damn, why don't I have it there? Man, just don't complain. All right, when you don't know, you just restore the server. And then it still doesn't work. Why? So this is probably not the good way of doing things, but I probably don't have the task card.view. It was one level deeper. Damn. Don't really see the issue here. Because basically we don't have the task card for some reason. Why don't we have it? I mean, I see the issue, but yeah. Router view, trackable. All right. Task card itself, task card ID. Yeah. So I'm not sure what is broken here, but everything is broken on my side.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Konstantin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm muted. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think maybe part of the issue is you have UID mentioned somewhere, which I think I had at some point in time, and it should be ID. I look in the draggable.
Oh yeah, I also need like to import this UID. Yeah, that's maybe why. This should not be the issue though. So you're saying that I have UID here?
Yep, exactly right there.
Yeah, and
You're
that
doing
this
awesome, man. Thank you for working with some of my
yeah,
my janky stuff here, dude.
Yeah, I hope that I wouldn't get those errors, I have to say, because I tried it before and like ports ID, why it doesn't get like we have the ports, then we go to the ID ports.
I see. It's looking for app page heading. Let's instead of doing app page heading, just do an H1. That's not super important. That part of the piece of live coding here, I don't think that actually made it to the repo.
Yeah. Yeah, but here it's complaining that I don't have page heading. Page heading. Oh yeah, sorry. It's still not commented. So now, oh yeah. So sorry for that. All right. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, whatever. It works. So yeah. Yeah. Probably the worst
Perfect.
presentation
Yeah,
so
that's why
far,
we give
but
you so much time, man.
yeah, sorry for that one. So at least now this is working, so we can get like the some columns. So yeah, I didn't present it well before, but the first one that we got here with the auto block was for us to be able to move it that way. And as you can see here in the actual payload thing, if we move them, we got like either 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. So this is working correctly. Of course, you can also find it in the DevTools. I mean, this is even like what I do recommend doing. So if we go to Draggable here, we can see that we have a task card. If we move it, it have changed, as you can see with the green thing. And we also have like the new column. So this is also working great. And as you can see here, if we move the cards, here we have 2 ports. So if we move them, we will get them there. So same, I'm gonna show you with the Vue DevTools app. Yeah. So we have Draggable, and then we have the 2 tasks on the right. If we move them on the left, yeah, this is maybe a bit finicky because, yeah, let's open it wider. Let's give it a refresh. Yep. So we create a new column. Then we get some tasks and we move it there. Now we can see that we have it on the left and on the right. So this is working properly. So yeah, sorry for that. Also, yeah, I cheated a bit because I was a bit stuck, so I copied a bit of code. But otherwise, we can redo the whole thing because here we have a button that helps us create a new column. So for that, we have an add column. So of course, we're gonna need to create that. So let's have add column. It's gonna not take any kind of parameter. And I'm gonna write some arrow functions, even if people don't always like it. So here we are calling a new ID package. that I just installed before, just to double check that when we are gonna create a new column, that it will be unique and that it will not that it will not conflict with any kind of name that we may create afterwards. So when we create the column, we will need to double check that we have added one. So for that, we're gonna use the watch, the watch thing. And when we update the column, we will want to update and say, all right, so we have moved it. So please take all of the current columns and update it with the order where we moved it. So JSON stringify. So we're gonna just pass, we're gonna clone it and we're gonna pass the object another time. So for that, we're gonna put columns. So here we are using several things. So we are using toRow. So toRow is basically to say, all right, here we don't want to have any kind of reactivity when we create it. So we just clone dip it. And we don't want any kind of side effects. So make it kind of stale. That way it doesn't really do anything. Yep. So yeah. So it works also because we will get an update listener here. So one thing that we also need is an emit here. Sorry. So we have a defined emit of saying, all right, if we want to add a column, we create it like that. Then we watch the thing and we call update. Then it sends update to the parent, and the parent will just say, all right, we have a board and this is working. So yeah. Pretty usual stuff. Yeah, so it was super messy, sorry, and wasn't sure of the issue, but at least it's working and it's great. Since it failed a bit, yeah, indeed, Hunter. So since this one was a bit of a fail, I just propose you to make something visually appealing regarding what we just created. So let's go to the boards page, and then we have those cards. So let's give it a bit of love by providing some visual improvements, let's say. So first off, let's create a few more boards. So I'm gonna just put some random images. So here, the first thing that we notice is that we have the cards going on the right. So this may be okay, but I find it a bit annoying when you are just like having them here. So Daniel will gonna probably hate me here, but I'm gonna wrap them with some flex property. And we may rely on some dirty debugging. Because I will create some divs, and as every front-end developer, I'm gonna put so what did I mess up? Oh yeah. Yeah, all right. Oh yeah, no, this is messy. Let's put the button at the top. That way, yeah, looks a bit better. So yeah, let's put a damn simple border there. And let's put it on the actual cards. So my idea here is just, and I need border here also. Okay. So it's not working for some reason because I typed, of course. So yeah, not easy. So yeah, my idea is basically to say that we're gonna split the wall cards all together. So let's put the button back below and have a div with border red. Yeah, quite stressed right now. I just want to create a few divs. So all the SEO people are trying to kill me right now because this is not the way to go. So let's put a flex here, flex, flex wrap, and then a gap of 2 here. And that way we don't need to have any kind of flex here. So do we have something that is what I like, what I want? No, at all. So we have some boards, and yeah, I saw a suggestion saying that we may just move the board out of there and have it here. Yeah, that way we have all of the cards. Then we have our board ID, we have our board. Gonna just put a simple tailwind thing saying that if we over a card, we will get some slight rotation. Yep, so this pair. And then we are basically looping on all of them. And let's say that here we will create a dynamic class. The idea is to try to get some cool gradients. So let's say that I want to call a function that will provide us with some nice background. By the way, we have some ugly things. So board card. I don't really like those margins. Yeah, so that way we have some, some simple cards. Oh man, what did I mess up? Okay. What did I mess up? I don't have my cards anymore for some reason. Yeah, of course. So here the idea is to get like some nice gradient. So we have a class where we will say we want to have basic a basic gradient. And so the idea is to say, all right, let's put a gradient there. So we're gonna round it a bit and put a background gradient from to top right. And the idea here is to have like a dynamic class which will extend this and create a gradient for all of those items themselves. So here, if we have this function of get cool gradient, yeah, so I'm doing that and then I'm done because we probably have other stuff to do afterwards. But I just want to finish my fancy example of showing you how to get something a bit fancy. Yep, promise. So here the idea is to get like a gradient specific for every card, but not the same one every time. So for that, we may just use basic switch case where we're gonna say, all right, so for the first card, for example, we have some orange going into some pinks and then some green, some blue, purple, and yep. Then don't forget to return it. And of course, we're gonna need the index here. So now that we have it there, so we will get every card and then an index for them and then some colors. So here I will take this and get the actual index and then index here. And this is working pretty great. So don't forget to remove this ugly border. Yep. So why is this not taking the wall size? Flex wrap wrap and then width 100. And I don't know why this is not working as expected. But yeah, basically the idea here is to say that we have our components. Sorry, didn't want to click on that. And oh, we have an issue here. We still have the ugly margin. All right, so this will be there. Yeah, so we have our cards. If we inspect it, we gonna see that we have that we're gonna get a gradient for all of them. So I'm gonna zoom it a bit for people to see. So we're gonna get a gradient for all of them going from to top right, and then for each of them we're gonna get various orange, blue, and purple. So how is this done? We just take the we just take our list of cards, we iterate on them, and then we pass them to this class, because here we have a static class, and then here we will get dynamic, which will basically just get the index and return the color. And this is the final result. So yeah, pretty much okay. Oh yeah, I have a random div somewhere which is doing nothing at all. All right, and this is, yeah, all right. At least we have that done. Yeah, so I wanted to do that because I saw some people who were saying, oh yeah, we need something more visual. So I was just trying to make this appealing. And then we have just basic cards with a gap and a fancy card when we hover on them, and damn, some working cards. So yeah, it was messy, but yeah, that's all on my side, I guess. Here we have that way a Kanban with a simple button where we can just inspect where this is, and yeah, this is working great. And we have some nice boards for afterwards that I hope are not messing too much. Yep. So I guess I'm done. Do we have some other nice questions? Oh yeah. Oh
Awesome.
man. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I wanted to put them
So
saying,
I will give him a moment
yeah,
to put on his glasses.
We created this annoying Kanban, so now let's try to make a live code, something creative. But at the end, I just forget to put them because my previous thing just totally crashed. So yeah, at least you have me like as a visual guy, just trying to put a bit of pizzazz into the thing. So yeah. If we have some questions, I will be pleased to answer them.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Konstantin. It was great. Actually, people loved your debugging session as well. And
yeah, I saw a lot of people trying to give me tips on, oh yeah, so how is this working? Oh yeah, man, just try the item key. I was like, yeah, I saw your message, but yeah, still.
It's so nice. I mean, I am loving the audience as well. So just a shout out to audience. You all are very positive, very supportive. And Konstantin, it was an amazing session. Like we really loved it all. So we have some questions. We are going to take few of them. So, okay. So one of them is, what's your preferred way of working with Vue.js? Composition API or Options API, and why?
So as you can see, this is not my usual stack. Usually I don't struggle that much. This is really like out of my comfort zone because I did a few projects as an assessment for companies to just work with Vue 3, but this is really not my thing. I don't work with Vue 3 yet because my clients don't use that. So yeah, it's either use it on my free time, but yeah, that's all. I love it, but I just don't get the chance to work on it yet. So I have a new client as a consultant right now. So yeah, let's see if I can do that there. But yeah, if somebody is starting, I'd say that you need to learn both because nowadays Vue 3 is the default. So since it's the default and that you can go further with the composition API, of course, you can get more stuff done. and you can get advanced patterns, a lot of great stuff. But at the same time, it's also more difficult. And since you have more flexibility, it's harder for you to not make some ugly code like me. So yeah, just go the Options API if you want something easier to use, and use the Composition API when you're a bit more used to Vue.js overall. Or if you're used to be working with React hooks, this is perfect for you, because this is pretty much the exact same thing. You have still your life cycles, and you can use them as like some small parts that are composable and reusable. And at the end, I even say that you can use both at the same time. It really depends. You don't need to use Composition API on a whole project. You can use it on specific parts and then use Options API on the others. So yeah, right now I just use Options API. I'm pretty late to the party, you know.
Thank you for the answer. Okay, so someone wants to ask, why do we use reactive in the both drag and drop component and not the ref like other components?
You can basically use both. This comes down to preference. This just more wording. This is just like saying we have an object and this will be used like that. But you can write it as ref also. Some people tend to just use one or the other. Here it's a bit mixed, but yeah, you can do that both.
Awesome, thank you. So I see this repeated question, so I'll go ahead and ask it. Like some people want to know about clone deep, so maybe explain a bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this example again.
Screen. Are you sharing screen? So I will add it to stream.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm gonna put it full screen. Yeah. So basically, this is how JS works. On the left side, you get the reference, and on the right, you get the value. So for example, if you have an object where you have 3 depths, so for example, I don't know, like city, and then inside of it, you have some people, and then in the people, you have a name and an object. So if you have 3 depth levels, if you just use a destructuring or any kind of simple copy without a deep clone, you'll get you'll get only the first level of it, and the rest of it will be passed as reference. So it means that if you change something deeply nested inside of it, it will not change the second object. It will change the first one. So as you can see on the left, we have the reference. So the first level will be properly copied, but the second one will be passed as reference. So if you mutate the copied object and at the second level, you will mutate the initial object that you've copied. And this is not what we want. So if we want a deep copy, we copy it from top to bottom, and we just use the value as we can see on the right, because this will not mutate the cup of tea. On the left, we mutate the second one, so it changes the first one. On the second one, we make a proper copy, and so it changes only the second. I have an article of, yes, there is this amazing Flavio Copes that you probably know, the guy who were blogging every day for such a long time. And so he made a comparison of saying, all right, so what can you use? Do you need a shadow copy or do you need a deep clone? And he was saying that, basically Lodash is really good because it will, Lodash is basically like if you make a JSON parse, JSON stringify, but this have some caveats where you have some exceptions and you have some issues. So this is why usually people just use JSON parse, JSON stringify, but this is slow. There are some cases missing. For example, if you have infinity or if you have some undefined or void functions, it can be messed up. So that's why people used Lodash.js. And that's also why now we have structured content, which is like by far the most efficient one and which is doing exactly the same. And that is also baked into the browser. So use either Lodash.js with clone deep or just use the new one. But yeah, this is pretty much the explanation. And yeah, this is how you write it. And this is great because here you can put a lot of stuff afterwards. So it will only get them. You don't need like to get the Lodash, clone deep thing and so on, because yeah, more simple to write, basically.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much
Some other question?
for
Or
this
is it-
explanation. No, I think this is all. And
Okay.
thank you once again. It was really, really amazing session, Kisu. It's awesome.
Thanks for having me there. Sorry for the issues.
Thank you. So
I wish you a great day, all of you, and enjoy the conference. If you have some questions, feel free to ask me on Discord. I will be more efficient there. Yeah, for sure. Thanks.